Dave, a really frustrating week.
Yeah, it has been. It's one of those periods of weather that we all thought we'd not going to see again for a while, with warmer winters and what have you. But yeah, it's come back with a bit of a bang, hasn't it?
And we're bound to get fans saying, could we have done more, should we have done more? There literally isn't anything else we could have done, is there?
No, we're just using the same sheets that we've used in the past. We lost the fleece in the flood after 2015, end of 2015. It's useful, but the practicality of it is enormous in terms of storage and keeping it dry. And I mean, I think I've probably said before, you know, the fleece's insulation properties are so good that when you roll it up when it's got frost on the top, you can't get it apart again. So we kind of looked at the technical side of that, and nothing really came of it, really. So we are where we are with that. I mean, I have seen, you know, we've seen the fleece with, you know, keep games on, if you like. But another factor of that is that you know, the fleece was sitting on a nice inch of grass underneath. Unfortunately, this season we've not got not much grass left. It was probably always going to be the case, really, with the weather we get in terms of unable to use sort of training facilities, and the intenseness of games with the shortened season. That was always going to happen, and there was always a likelihood of a COVID break somewhere down the line, and there was always the likelihood of inclement weather. Sod's law that it would be in a COVID season, if you like. So with all that put in the melting pot, it like I say, it kind of was inevitable, really. But back with the fleece, it's a good tool. We might go and revisit it. You know, I don't know. That's for the powers that be to look at. But you know, like I say, it's even with these temperatures, I think I've seen, you know, the fleece has done sort of -4, -5, but regular nights of -6 and -7, I don't think even that would. I've seen that being taken to the cleaners by the frost. So there we are. That's, you know, yeah, you can only do what you can do.
That's been the difficulty this week, isn't it? It's been the regular temperatures that maybe people have seen -7 the night of the Leyton Orient game, for example. But the wind makes it even colder.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we're standing here now, and it's, you know, the sun's out, but we're all pretty cold. Yeah, I've noticed as the week's gone on that even with the sun up, even the bits of the pitch that have been covered and do get the sun, as the wind has blown the sheets around during the day, and then we sort of straighten them up as the wind dies down at about tea time. The pegs have been harder to get in the ground, so it's just colder and colder and colder. And like I said, because of the sparseness of the grass, it is just so much easier for that frost to get in, and just on bare ground. So yeah, it's. I mean, I think we're on a -10 wind chill factor tomorrow. So you know, if there had been a game, I think. I mean, on Tuesday, I'll just tell you, for try not to bore you for too long, but on Tuesday, if we had played at 2:30, the pitch was starting to get crusty at 6 o'clock. So if we'd played at 6:30, I said to Nigel, you know, I said if we'd started at 6:30 on Tuesday, we would have been abandoned, absolutely no question. So the 2:30 was a good idea. The 2:30 makes sense in the world of football flexibility that we are at this season. So we can sort of go any time, any day almost. So yeah, so that's where, and that was Tuesday night before we've sort of had the real sort of wind chill.
The other frustration with the Orient, Dave, I think it's important to let the fans know this, that we had a pitch inspection on Monday. This pitch was playable, so you're bound to say to Orient, get yourselves up here. Hopefully it'll be the same tomorrow.
Well, yeah, I mean, you kind of understand the procedure in that we don't want to end up with a Newport phone call at midday when we could have had the phone call at 9 o'clock. So trying to be professional and proper and go by the regulation, if you like, then, you know, we'll make it was a sensible thing to do, rather than have a game called off on Tuesday and everybody say, well, you could have called that off on Monday, when that wasn't the case. You know, if we could have played on Monday, you know, the ref comes in, yeah, that's okay, and you think, right, great, -2, same on Monday night as it was the previous night. Pitch is covered, great, and then here presto, start the car on Tuesday morning, it comes up -7. But you kind of know before. Well, look, I mean, sometimes I'm looking out the window at 4 o'clock in the morning and going outside on the lawn and sort of having a bit of a tap and a bang on it and seeing what's going on. But there you are. I mean, -7 is just, that's sort of, when we're talking about trying to play on turf, that's a bit extreme, isn't it? So there we are. But you know.
And the way you work things, Dave, you don't just do something and forget. So these covers, they've been on and off all week, trying to catch the weather at its best and at its worst.
Yeah, it's you can peel them back and let the sun in and then put them back, but if you peel them back, you run the risk, the way we have been this week with these easterly winds, that they just come in from, you know, the unprotected end and blow the sheets around all over the place, and then you've got a bit of a task to try and straighten them all up again, and you've got to just weigh that up of whether it's worth it. You know, but when you've got that Warwick Road end that's not going to shift, then it kind of makes everything else irrelevant, really.
And just finally, Dave, you're very philosophical about this kind of thing. You do what you can. If the game's off and you've tried your best, what else can you do?
Well, look at trying to get it on, you know, for future stuff. But like I say, I've mentioned there's factors in there that we've talked about just now that can improve the situation, and we just, you know, hopefully keep trying to move forward with it, really, with whichever methods we choose to sort of take. And like I say, you know, it's just game after game after game, so sometimes it becomes inevitable that somewhere down the line you're going to lose one or two, but we just keep battling away.
I said finally, but something just popped into my head, the undersoil pitch heating thing that people keep bringing up. Where are we at with that?
Well, that was installed when the pitch was constructed back in 2006, May 2006, and it's nothing more than just obviously just pipe work that's in there. 26k of pipe ready to be plumbed up and whatever. I mean, we got some costs for it at the time. We were about £250,000, I think. But it was the right thing to do at the time. It was a very, you know, a sensible thing to do at the time, and that's, you know, that hasn't moved any further. It was put in there as an option of, well, if we need to, it's there, rather than you know, you get to a certain level that you have to have it as a regulation, and then that obviously means that you have to dig your pitch up and start again, kind of thing. So that's where that's got to, and it's kind of, well, it's ready to be plumbed up at any stage.